Hey guys, good morning. Oh, the sound is off. What is going on with the sound? I think that's better. Hopefully that's better. You guys will have to let me know. I felt like the sound was a little bit low yesterday, or the volume was a little bit low, so maybe that will help. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the broad spectrum daily reading for all signs. It is originally intended for Wednesday, October 27th, but you can use the message whenever you see it. There's a lot of flexibility with the reading, so don't, necessarily get caught up in the date. If you enjoy the reading, please hit the thumbs up button, share the reading out, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate all of those things. Leave a question or comment if there's anything that stuck out in your mind or something you wanted to ask about. And again, this is broad spectrum, so I speak in broad terms. If things fit in your life, great, use them. If they don't, that's okay. Nothing's broken or wrong. You just might be working on something different than the majority of the viewers that may see this video. All right, so let's see what's going on. Happy Scorpio season. Happy birthday, Lisa. Lisa tuned in yesterday morning to let us know it was her birthday reading. So happy birthday to her. And let me see what the card is for the day. We have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords can indicate defeat. It can also indicate rest, where we've just sort of given up, right? Swords is that element of air, and that, it indicates thoughts, communications, things of that nature, right? But there's usually this depiction of a loss of some sort of a defeat, or something that happens where we just kind of can't go on any further. Tens are completions of cycles, right? Where everything sort of ends in this chapter. But what I love about how she depicts this Ten of Swords is that we have a baby bird that's fallen and a few broken eggs in the process, but we also have new life up here in the nest, a big fat baby bird too. So it's like, even though some things end, new things begin in their place, right? So there's always that sort of aspect to think about, the steps beyond the Ten of Swords. Yes, we might be caught up in the defeat or the ending of something, but that also opens the door and brings on the opportunity to create new again, right? Similar to like the moon cycles. Once the moon's at its fullest and its fattest, it is time to release and let go, and then start again. We start building at the new moon. So, don't be surprised if endings are coming about. Don't be surprised if we're beleaguered. Don't be surprised if we're in our head a lot today, trying to figure out a situation that maybe has bothered us or is causing us distress, trouble, worry, or even outright just, frustration. And if we're not winning today, that's not a bad thing necessarily. If we succumb to the Ten of Swords, we actually kind of can, rest in the midst of the defeat, right? It doesn't have to be a loss. It can be, but we can always learn from our losses too, or from our mistakes. And I think that's kind of the value of the Ten of Swords, is that there's always something to be had, even in mistakes, right? We can learn from them. There's a new baby bird to be born. There's a new lesson or teaching that comes out of the things that we sometimes struggle with. If we fight against it, it just sort of makes it worse, is my impression and my feeling. I do love that she has those broken eggs, which means like mistakes need to be made, in the process. I think I said this the other day, we need to break a few eggs to make an omelet, right? I don't know if I said that here or at work, but I did make that phrase the other day, so it's interesting we're seeing those, because it's taking me to that phrase of breaking a few eggs to make an omelet. So keep that in mind. Let me look at, what was the weekly cards? We had that Seven of Cups coming up in the midweek. So that is a lot of indecision and confusion emotionally. If our mind feels defeated because of it, that could be why we're experiencing this Ten of Swords. Try not to let our emotions run wild, right? I believe we kicked off with a really strong King of Swords this week. So wherever we had our clarity, we may have lost it emotionally, right? Or due to our emotions. This Ten of Swords says that's okay. We can get it back. We just need to relax, ease into it, be grateful for what we have, and let things transpire, let things transform, let things sort of change. They may be changing in directions that we didn't expect, or that we weren't, originally desirous of. That would have been the Ace of Wands from yesterday. But we can align to them. We can enjoy them. They can teach us something. They can offer us something. So keep that in mind, okay? Here is the Oracle card. It is milk. I love this because milk is so sort of like, not only is it like a white liquid, which makes me think of like sort of that idea of like purity, but it's also very nourishing, right? All babies drink milk. You know, whether they're animal babies or human babies, they all sort of feed off of some sort of a milk before going out into the world and becoming adult. I feel like this milk to me feels nurturing today. Like care for ourselves, be kind to ourselves, give ourselves the nutrients or the love, the care, whatever our beleaguered little minds need, give it to ourselves today, right? Let it flow forward from a place of love. Also, milk makes me think of a mother, right? You know, like that sort of compassionate mother love. Let that also kind of flourish around you. Yesterday we had that lion, which would be more masculine and protective and strong. Milk to me here feels more like self-care, nurturing, feeding ourselves something, you know, healthy, right? And what I mean by feeding ourselves is you can take that literally, right? And go out and eat something very healthy, or you can feed your mind something healthy, or your body something healthy. Do something kind for yourself today. You know, lavish yourself a little bit. If you know, essentially just sort of nurture or mother yourself in a way, right? Especially if times are hard right now, if your thoughts are hard or complicated, or your situations feel hard and complicated, give yourself that grace and that nourishment in whatever way you need, so that you can counterbalance the changes that are coming or the defeat. I use the word defeat, but I don't get a bad sense from this card. I really get this sense of peace, rest, and change. Right? So I don't want you guys to think like, oh, defeat, oh, I'm in trouble, something's coming. It's not that it's something that we don't want to have come about, right? To me, I actually get this feeling that, you know, this Ten of Swords to me is an ending, yes, but it's an ending to something that was probably already beleaguering us to begin with. We already knew that. Like, we've already been struggling with it for a while. And now it's time to hopefully let it go, mend the pieces of ourselves that are left behind, right? Or the parts of ourselves that can adapt and change, and feed them from this sort of milk, right? To make them whole again, strong again, capable again, right? All right, let's look to the grounding stone. And the grounding stone is on a milky white marble stone, and the word is desire. Now, desire is an interesting one with this, because these cards feel rather like sort of internal and placid in a way, or not careful, but, you know, caring, I guess is the right word. They feel more about self-care, self-focus, and kind of tending to oneself. But the desire, it takes me to yesterday's Ace of Wands that we saw, right? The desire is my feeling is as we nurture ourselves and as we shift away from things that maybe have tired us, aggravated us, annoyed us, or are no longer working in our favor, we can set our sights on new desires, new things that we want. And for some of us, that desire might just be to be able to take care of ourselves, right? To heal ourselves. And that's plenty of a desire, right? That's a beautiful desire to have. Using that desire to be what fulfills us, or what drives us, or what we ground in today, will help us to move away from the things that are going on within us, within our mind, and within our emotions that could be potentially causing that confusion or that feeling of tiredness and defeat. Remember, we can nurture ourselves back to health, back to our goals, back to our purposes. And that's sort of what I feel like that desire stone is trying to tell us. There is that underpinning stone for the week, which is that of gratitude. Remember to stay in gratitude for whatever it is that you are facing, dealing with, challenged by, or changing. And allow those things to open up doors to new desires or new opportunities, new possibilities. We saw that again in the Ace of Wands yesterday. So there could be a lot of things that, you know, could still be coming to us over the next few days. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up, share it out, leave me a question or comment, and have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.